Hello, my name is Keshwani. It's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for SAT. We have been solving SAT math problems out of this book here, the official SAT study guide. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 798. Please turn to it, page 798, and today is our lesson number 103. Let's take a look at it. On page 798, problem number 11, it says in the XY coordinate plane, line M is a reflection of line L. So here's your XY coordinate plane, and they tell us that line M is a reflection of line L along the x-axis. If the slope of the line M is negative 4 half, slope of line M negative 4 half, the question is, what's the slope of line L? Slope of line L. Well, before we worry about the L and M, let's talk about some simple scenario. For example, let's do something very simple. Let's start out with very simple. Here's this line, and it has a slope of negative 1. Slope equals, the slope of positive 1. What's going to be the reflection of this line along the x-axis? The reflection of this line is going to be on the line here at 45 degrees. If this is 45 degrees, which it is because the slope is 1, therefore this is going to be 45 degrees. And if the slope of this line is 1, the slope of this line is going to be negative 1. What would have been the reflection of, I'm still here, I'm not going anywhere. What would have been the reflection of this line along y-axis? If had we drawn a reflection not along x-axis, but along y-axis, what would have been the reflection? Let's find out, shall we? Along y-axis, actually I shouldn't have raised this thing. Along y-axis, the reflection would have been this. Again, if the slope of this thing is 1, slope of this one is going to be negative 1. The slope is going to be negative 1. Why? Because it's the same line as before. It's the continuation of the same line. So reflection of that line along x-axis or y-axis, the slope, whatever it is, the slope of this guy is the same slope here in the absolute term, except the sign changes. So if the slope is positive 1, the slope of the reflection is negative 1. Let's do one more, shall we? Here's another one. In the xy coordinate plane, we are given a line here and we are told the slope equals 3. Well, if we were to draw the reflection of that line along y-axis, it's going to look something like this. And the slope of this line is going to be negative 3. What if we were to draw, what if we were to ask for the reflection of this line here, along x-axis as opposed to y-axis? Then whatever it is, for example, if it's positive 2 here, if this point is positive 2, we would have gone to negative 2 right here, at negative 2, and we would have drawn a line like that. And that would be the reflection along x-axis. Think of x-axis as the mirror, and if you were to put the mirror here, what you will see is the reflection here with the slope of negative 3. So the slope is the exact same slope, except the sign changes. If the slope of the original line is positive, the new line will be negative. The reflection will be negative. That's all it is. And if its original line has a negative slope, the reflection will be positively sloped. Let's do the negatively sloped line. Here's our negatively sloped line. This is a positive slope line. What the hell? Here's the negatively sloped line. What's going to be the reflection? What's going to be the reflection of this line along y-axis? Along y-axis, the reflection is going to be something like this. And if this has a slope of positive 5, then this has if this is a slope of negative 5 rather, then this will have a slope of positive 5. It's the exact same slope. That's all it is. That's it, we are done. Slope of this guy, since this is negative 4/5, it's going to be positive 4/5. That's it. Very first thing we realize is that because the original thing is given as negative 4/5, we already know the correct answer will have a positive slope. correct answer will have a positive slope, which means among the 5 answer choices that are given to us, D and E are not the right answer because they have negative slope. And then we have 1/5, and then we have 4/5, and then we have 5/4. It's going to be same. It's same as before. It's 4/5. It doesn't become reciprocal. It stays 4/5, and the answer is B. They give you 5/5 here because they are trying to confuse you with the two lines that are perpendicular to each other. If there are two lines that are perpendicular to each other, then let's do one example. Even though the question does not ask us for it, let's do one example. Let's do a different one. We're going to have the same answer choices as before. Same answer choices as before. Now the question is, what is the slope of the line that is perpendicular to line M? Line M is this guy with a slope of -4/5. With a slope of -4/5. Now, if two lines are perpendicular to each other, if two lines are perpendicular to each other, the product of their slope is -1. The product of their slope is -1. So now, the slope of the line that is perpendicular to M is going to be 5/4 positive, because 5/4 times a -4/5, 5th cancels out, 4 cancels out, and gives us a -1. In which case, the answer would have been 4/5. So that's why they gave you the answer choice A, for those people who are confused between the concept of two lines being perpendicular to each other and the line that is a reflection along x-axis or y-axis. If you're looking for a reflection of a line, the value of the slope is the exact same thing as the original line in the absolute term. It's just the sign changes. If it's positively sloped, it becomes negatively sloped, and if it's negatively sloped, it becomes positively sloped. That's all it is. Since the original line was a -4/5, the reflection is going to be +4/5. The answer is D. Let's do the next one, number 12. If n equals 3 times p, for what value of p does n equal p? Well, if a number equals 3 times some other number, think about it. If a number equals 3 times some other number, the only way it is possible is if this guy is 0. In which case it can be 3 times that number, or it can be 30 times that number, or it can be 30,000 times that number. It doesn't matter, because no matter what that number is, any number times 0 is 0. So in which case, the only time it is going to be true is when both n and p are 0. And this 3 had no significance. It could be n could be 3 million times p. It doesn't matter, because no matter what number it is, times 0 will equal 0. That's the only time it's going to be true. So both n and p are 0. The question is, for what value of p is n equal to p? The answer is 0. Answer is A. I will see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.